this is it. Once again, thank you for coming out. Without further ado, I would like to get to the creator of Stand Up for the Kids. Please, he's going to have some great stuff. Maybe some surprises. I can't wait. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Sam Killermann!
Wow, that was quite an introduction. So has everyone had a good show so far? Yeah? Oh man, what a great group of guys, right? You can't pick a more random group of comedians, and that was my goal. I can be honest, and I can say that we pretty much hit the full spectrum, from waking up to masturbating during Star Wars to offing yourself after a bad relationship. I mean, we've hit the entire gamut today, I think. Has anyone ever thought about the guy who came up with the expression, just picture the audience naked if you're nervous? You think that guy was nervous, or you think the guy was just really creepy? He was like, even if you're not performing. I think they're getting, like, vegetarians are getting kind of out of control. And let me clarify, calm down, all right? It's not that bad. I love vegetables, I think that you should eat them. But vegetarianism has breeded all these different sub-vegetarianisms that are kind of freaking me out. Like, there's vegetarians who eat vegetables, that makes sense. But then there's like ova-vegetarians who eat vegetables, just vegetables, but then eggs too, because those are like vegetables, only in egg form, I guess. And then they justify that like, yeah, it comes from the chicken, it's not the chicken, it's not the same. Like, it's a baby chicken that you're eating. That's worse. If anything, you should be anti-ova-vegetarian. That's like eating children. Of chickens, obviously, but they're like, genetically, we're only one step away from the chicken, I've been told. Don't quote me on that. Then there's pescatarians. Has anyone heard of the pescatarian?
Yeah.
A few people. I have no idea what that is, but I'm guessing it's eating
Fish.
Oh. That makes so much more sense. I was like, where do you find rodents to sustain them for that long? That is just, and how do you cook them? You know, it's like the vegetables help, but the pesks, you know, that's disgusting. Vegans, we've always had vegans, right? Vegans have been around forever, and they're just hungry. No other way to spin that. I've decided it's confusing, right? And there are probably more that I didn't just make up right now. And it upsets me. So I decided that I'm going to become a vegetarian, and I'm just going to eat vegetarians. Who's in favor? Yeah. All right. And no eggs, because that's disgusting. Sorry, that's kind of weird. So, all right. I like laughing, sorry. So, has anyone ever used the expression heavier to describe someone who is overweight? Or heard that used? Yeah. You guys are silly. It's like, it's a euphemism, but it doesn't really make sense, because it's just, I always want to ask, heavier than what? A grapefruit? Oh, so you picked him up. But at the same time, like, I do love, like, inclusiveness. I like being like inclusive. A huge thing for me, this is really exciting. My sister actually drove all the way from Chicago to see me perform comedy tonight. My sister Haley. How about a huge round of applause? Maybe I should give her the microphone. And her partner came with her, and I say partner because I like being inclusive, not because my sister's a lesbian. But if she was, I'd be totally okay with that. See? Inclusive. But being inclusive is a lot different than political correctness, which has this horrible rap, right? Everyone's like, political correctness, so PC. You guys heard those people? They got like congestion issues? What they're really saying when they say that is, I miss the days when I could be racist. I need some Mucinex. So recently I had an exhibit in the Union here, an art exhibit, and it was called Words for Pictures. Did anyone see it? Yeah. A couple people? All right, cool. It was really exciting for me. It was something that was new. It's not really in my purview. I'm not an art student or anything, so it was neat to do an art exhibit. And the day it opened, I was giddy with excitement, I'm not gonna lie. And I forgot a few things. I had to hang up a couple extra things, so I went into the art exhibit, and I was just hanging up like one last thing, and I was hammering away, and this woman walks in, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna happen. Like, I'm gonna meet someone who's gonna see my art, you know? And I just like pretended I was still hammering. So she like looks at the art, and I'm just like waiting, and she's like, she's gonna talk to me, and she goes, "Hey," and I was like, "Yes." She goes, "Hey, is this your exhibit?" And I said, "Yeah, do you like it?" And she goes, "No, not at all." "But it's cool that you did it." And then I was mortified. Remember, that's like the day that it opened, like the minute that I didn't think it was going anywhere good from there, but it did. I mean, this show isn't all about self-deprecation like most of mine are. It went well. And people enjoyed it. The comment book had a lot of fun comments. One of the things I did was I had this interactive part of the art exhibit, and that's something that I had never seen done. It was an idea that I had that I thought would be really cool, and people loved it. They loved being part of the exhibit. So I was like, we got this comedy show coming up. You guys want to be involved, right? Well, a few of you are going to be. Hopefully, you're sitting in the seats that I've marked. So, if everyone will look under their seats, the odds of this actually having worked are very slim. But look under your seats. If you're in the aisle seats, you've probably got a better chance because I didn't want to walk to the middle. I'm happy that you've all laughed. That's been accomplished. But I also wanted to share some advice with you. So I'd written some fun little notes under random seats that all happen to be empty right now. And what are the odds? So I don't remember them all, but I remember a couple. So I'll share two with you that I definitely remember. So one of them, this is advice from my grandma. It's very common advice. Oh, don't worry about it, Meredith. Thank you. My grandma said that you should never spend all your money in one place. Unless that place is a casino and you're feeling lucky. It's true, though. Statistically, you've got a good chance, right? Don't quote me on that. I don't do much research for my show. I'm not gonna lie. And then another bit of advice. Oh, and this one's extremely relevant. We've talked about Facebook a little bit tonight. If you ever get a rando Facebook friend request and the profile pic has 2 people in it, and you're wondering, is it the cute one? It's never the cute one. Never. I'm sorry. It's never the cute one. It isn't. I'm just trying to break it to you over and over again. So, I'm job searching right now. I'm a graduate student here. I'm going to be graduating here in May, and I'm in the job search. A couple of my classmates are here, which is pretty cool. And we're in the College Student Personnel Program, which means that we are searching for jobs to work in a college, and I want to work specifically with orientation. Now, that's really competitive. I mean, there are like 4 or 5 openings in the country, and there are way more than that many people applying for them. And I'm way not the best person that's applying. I don't even know if I'm meant for people to laugh at that one. But thanks. And it's gotten kind of stressful, so I've actually started looking for jobs in other areas, which has made for some weird conversations in my class because all of my peers are doing the same thing. They're searching for jobs in college student personnel, but I've got like all these random jobs that I've applied for. Actually, just 2 days ago, I applied for a job as a war photographer. Not even kidding. Like, I do photography. That was what my exhibit was. I submitted a grant proposal to do war photography. So I'd be like in a war zone, taking photos of people shooting other people. Like, that's pretty intense stuff. And I feel kind of like worried because all my other friends are like submitting job applications. They're working on their resumes. I'm shopping for body armor. And I don't really have much to bring to the conversation. And it's kind of competitive, too, this whole job search thing, even amongst our class members. And the other day, someone was like, "Sam, I just got a call back from an application, so I'm going to maybe go for an interview." And I couldn't tell if they were like being like excited and nice, or if they're being a jerk and rubbing it in. You know what I mean? So I just snapped back and I was like, "Oh, yeah? Well, I just found a deal on an Armor Smith flat carrier flak vest for $790. That's like $400 off, and guess what? You're probably not even going to get that job."
Double whammy.
And then I thought about that, and I was like, of all the things to bargain, don't get me wrong. I'm totally the guy that'll be like, these jeans, 50% off. For no reason, like I'm just proud of finding a good deal. But I don't know if I want to be the guy who's like in Iraq, and there's bullets zinging over my head, and there's a soldier next to me who's protecting me, and he hates me because the only reason he's there in that battlefield is so I can make pretty pictures of him. Going, "See this Armor Smith carrier flak vest, Kevlar armor? 50% off." I think I might just pay the full price, you know? when I remember back to applying for grad school, it was less stressful than applying for jobs. And what I realized is, I don't know if this has always been the case, but it seems like it's definitely the case with the master's students who I know. We were less interested in getting a master's education than we were just avoiding the real world. And applying for real jobs, it's intense. Like, the biggest thing is that, I'm looking for the little clickaroo, the biggest thing is that there's so much pressure on the line, and there's so much, like, antics that go into it. You know, like, people lie on their resumes, people lie in interviews, people who are actually interviewing you lie. And it's like this big dance, and when you uncover it all, it's really kind of ugly. So I really wanted to talk about that a little bit. So let's talk about the dance. So, people say things and they mean other things, right? Like, that happens all the time. So a common question that you might get in an interview is, how do you deal with office politics? So like the question might be, describe your relationship with your coworkers in your office. Your answer could be, I stay out of office politics, right? That's a very good answer. But what you really mean by that is, play is gonna play, hate is gonna hate. I learned that when I was in middle school. Alright, so a quick side note, and this is not even, I was making this PowerPoint last night. I made that slide, and I laughed a lot, and I made that my Facebook status. And everybody's heard that, yeah, so yeah, you saw it, Ethan, yeah. So I made it my Facebook status, and everyone's heard that Facebook is like starting to get a little bit intrusive, right, as far as privacy goes. Well, my Facebook is racist. Because I made that my Facebook status, refreshed the page, and I had this ad on the right side. I swear to God. I didn't even know that was a thing. It's almost like my ads are always the same. It's like surfboards for some reason. And then it switched to this. And I was like, is that real? Like, is Facebook playing me right now? They're like, what up? So I clicked on it. It's a thing. And like, it doesn't really say it here, but this is like Facebook for black people, for their phones. It's really specific. I don't know if they're going to do very well. It's a very targeted market. So I signed up. You can find me on blackcellular.com. Screen name, play gonna play. What if I wasn't joking? Find me. Okay, so anyway, back to what we were talking about. So we had something we were talking about. So I saw this on a resume. In real life, this is on a resume. I just saw it a couple days ago. We've got people coming into our program, and we're going to be interviewing them. And I saw this. And when I saw this, I was like, man, I should be impressed. This person's proficient in both Microsoft Office and Excel. Like, that's the same thing twice. So what this really read to me was, I have no idea how to work a computer. But the lying isn't one-sided. It's not just on the side of the people applying. I think the employers lie a lot too. This might be a question that you'll get asked when you're interviewing. How do you manage change? A lot of people get asked this question in offices, and you think that they want you to talk about how you manage change, and they're interested in that, but what they're really doing is they're confessing that their organization is crumbling to the ground like a castle made of saltine crackers. And what they want to know is, can you emotionally survive in such a disaster of a situation? Oh, I forgot. Oh yeah, this one's good too. So, if you have a bad relationship with your supervisor, you're going to be asked, how did you relate with your supervisor? Like, describe that relationship. And you can't be bad about it, so what do you say? Well, a good answer, and this was actually provided in my class, my professor was like, just say, my supervisor and I didn't gel. But obviously what you really mean is, I'm a